What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Matt Burrill, here to tell you guys about my friends from Big Friendly Productions. Now, they specialize in creating merchandise for bands, artists, and even lifestyle brands. With their in-house equipment, they can provide shirts, branded hats, and more, as well as some graphic design services. They offer order fulfillment to handle your online orders and ship your merch straight to your fans from their shop down in good old Birmingham, Alabama, baby. Now, whether you are getting your first shirt, you're just starting out, or you're going on a 40-show run, hit them up for all your merchandising needs. Check out their website, bigfriendlyproductions.com, or shoot them an email, merchandising@bigfriendlyproductions.com. Now, we're going to get into the episode. This is Outside the Round with Matt Burrill. Also, make sure you guys like, rate, subscribe, tell your mama and them. And for more details and to get in touch with the rest of the familia, visit raisrowdy.com. Now, let's get into it. Outside the Round with me, Matt Burrill, a Raise Rowdy podcast.
This is Outside the Round with Matt Burrill, a Raise Rowdy podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Outside the Round. Today we've got a very special guest. We got our girl Karley Scott Collins from the Florida Georgia line, not the band, the actual place. And Karley, you've been one of my favorite people the last 6 months. We had you first at Outside the Round when we first rebranded, got connected through I think Bree over at Sony.
Yeah, it was. Yep.
And then I got to fill in for Ward at Whiskey Jam one night, and it happened to be a night I was like, oh shit, Karley's playing, let's go.
And I was excited to see you there too. It's always nice when you see somebody you know because it makes it a little more comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of comfortable, you're about to be getting comfortable on stage. You got a tour kicking off.
Oh yeah.
With the one and only Larry Fleet, and it's funny because I remember you telling me when the tour was getting confirmed.
I had literally just that day, I think, I literally just found out that we had gotten the tour the day of the Whiskey Jam. So I was telling anybody that would listen because I was thrilled. So yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah, and now what's the process been like of getting ready for your first long run of doing touring stuff where it's consistent with the same camp where you got this group of guys on the road with you as a band. You're traveling far distances. So much goes
into it. There's so much more that goes into it than I ever realized, honestly, because I did I don't know, I've done weekends here or there, but honestly most of what I've done is literally just me and a guitar regardless. So there's nothing. It's literally I have my guitar, please give me a DI, and that's it, a mic and a DI. So we've practiced a ton, me and the guys. Actually, you helped me find my guitar player.
Shout out to Jake. I hope I don't butcher his last name. Is it Flag? Is it Flaw?
I say Flog. Yeah, it's
Flog,
probably wrong
Jake
too.
Flog. That's what we're gonna go with. But and you want to know how I met Jake was at Live Oak and then at Red Door. There was a night he was wearing a Creed hat.
Oh.
And we love 2000s rock like that.
Yes.
So I was like, bro, nice hat. And then him and I got to talking, and and then I saw him playing with some people. And then a week later, I saw you at Whiskey Jam, and you were like, hey, I'm looking for some guys to come out. The folks I've used in the past might not be available. Do you know of anybody looking for a gig? And I was like, oh, I think I know the perfect kid.
You know what's so crazy? That's another thing that kind of went into it is this was in May, I think.
Yeah.
And so we'd gotten it in May. The tour's September, October, and everyone I reached out to is already completely booked. So I was like, oh my, it's just crazy how fast people book out. So thank God you knew, but he's amazing. He's great. Yeah. He's had everything nailed down immediately. He's been super helpful also for me, learning, because I'm playing electric on the road too. I played some of the leads.
Oh, sick.
So
that's cool. I didn't know you did that.
Oh yeah. It's rock and roll over here, Matt.
Well, yeah, you're wearing a damn Metallica t-shirt, which is just badass.
So
that's
he
awesome.
helped me, he convinced me to buy a $700 guitar pedal, and that was painful, but so it's been fun. We've practiced a lot, and then getting a tour manager, figuring out all the backline stuff, all of that logistics is just, it's wild. It's really crazy how it goes into it.
Now, you a big Larry Fleet fan?
Oh yeah, I've loved Larry for a while. So this actually it's kind of a dream first tour for me a little bit. I think that like his music, he's like the kind of country music that I really love, like really thoughtful lyrics, really soulful voice, not just like I've got a truck and there's a hot girl in it, you know?
Yeah.
So like, I mean, I think that we'll fit in really well together. I'm excited.
Yeah, now you talk about the kind of country that you like. What is Lake City, Florida like? Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think there's a Loves there. Because I think I've fueled up. Is there a Loves around Lake City, Florida?
Yep, there is actually. Now that you
Because that's something you'll notice. You're going to rack up a lot of Loves points on the road, being out there with the guys in the
Loves
van.
points is a thing?
Well, yeah, you get the rewards, and then like you can use it on snacks and like the food that's in there. That's
all right.
things I've learned on the road doing the tour manager thing in my past life. Loves, Buc-ee's, Pilot and Flying J if there's nothing else available, but like
we have SNS's. So SNS is like, but it's like just in our area. So
Okay.
it's like we've got a lot of SNS. We've got Busy Bee and Exxon.
I've been to a Busy Bee.
I love
for sure.
Busy Bees are good.
It gets the job
I mean,
done.
the logo is literally like clean potties,
Yes,
and that's what I look
yes.
for in a gas station.
Yeah, which is
so.
exactly what you get with Buc-ee's and stuff. But that's I think the only time I've stopped in Lake City. So what is growing up in Lake City, Florida like?
Oh my God, there's literally nothing to do in Lake City, Florida. I mean, everyone, if you want to do something fun, you drive to like Gainesville or Jacksonville. But what we actually did for fun growing up was like arrowhead hunting and like driving around in the forest at night.
Yeah.
And then we also have we have these crystal clear springs. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but it's like attached to the river, but comes up out of the ground. It's 75 degrees year round. So sometimes like when it's really cold in the winter, it's like 30 degrees outside. We'll go get in the spring because it feels like a hot tub because it's still 75 and the air's
wow.
good. So they call it nippy dipping.
Nice. That is some Florida stuff right there.
It is, yeah. So that was like a lot of just outdoors stuff, I guess. We did a lot growing up. So
Yeah, I love Florida.
I do too.
I really do. And I've been to all different parts of it this past weekend. You ever been to the Floribama? Have you conquered that yet?
No.
So that is in the Redneck Riviera along the Panhandle.
So it's like, okay, near Alabama, right?
Half of it's in Orange Beach, Alabama. The other half's in Perdido Key, Florida.
Well, you know if it's in Alabama,
It's on the border. Yeah, it's on the border, and it's just wild, like in the Gulf and stuff. So
Yeah.
you grew up. So I'm guessing it's like the eastern side of Florida, or
Please
is it kind
don't
of in the
ask
center?
me directions. I don't. It's North Florida. I know
North
that
Florida,
part. But
okay.
It's like basically 30 minutes from Valdosta, kind of like right in the middle.
Oh,
Yeah.
so South Georgia. Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm very familiar with South Georgia.
Basically,
too.
literally South Georgia is kind of
Bigfoot travel stop in Valdosta.
Oh, I thought you were going to actually talk about Bigfoot. Because
we
I was
can-
going to
we
say
can talk about-
we used to go Bigfoot hunting in the forest.
What
So
would
I was going to.
what would a Bigfoot be doing in Florida, though? I don't know if a Bigfoot would be like, or
Well,
have
aren't
there been
they
sightings?
everywhere?
They could be everywhere. I'm just trying to think, because like Florida, you have like alligators and shit. You have a ton of those.
I actually have kind of a funny story about Bigfoot hunting.
Yeah,
So
what you got?
my granddad owns sporting goods stores in like around the area, right?
Oh, nice.
So my aunt like runs a lot of them, and so we would go Bigfoot hunting seriously, of course, looking for Bigfoot for a while. But then it became that I wanted to scare my friends when I was growing up.
Oh, okay.
So my aunt got a ghillie suit. You know what that is?
Yes.
From the store. She put it on. And we would drive my friends and her son, my cousin's friends, out to the forest at like 11 o'clock at night. And she would go like park her truck somewhere. And so we would walk down the trail. And of course, I'm like snickering. I'm like, I know what's going on. She would like jump out in her ghillie suit and scare everybody. But she said one time she was hiding behind her wheel, behind her truck. And park ranger pulled up and she was like, he just shined his light on her and she's like squatted behind her wheel in this full body ghillie suit. He's
funny.
like, what are you doing? She was like, I can explain.
Yeah.
And he was like, I've seen a lot of crazy things, but this might be the craziest one.
That is not a Florida man. That's a Florida woman right
yeah.
there.
Yeah, my aunt, she auditioned for Survivor. She could shoot an apple off somebody's head.
Wow.
She's cool. She's a cool chick.
That's impressive. So you spent a lot of time in the woods growing up
Yeah.
and doing like kind of living out a country song.
Yes, except I will not go hunting. I won't do it.
No?
No, I tried to go one time with my granddad and I cried, so.
Okay. It's not see, I've never been either.
Okay.
I did, closest thing I ever got to that, we have some friends that have some land in Alabama, in Otagoville, Alabama. Middle of nowhere. It's outside of Montgomery. It's our buddies from Shackleford Lane. We were just hanging around. We were just hanging out right around the side by side, and they shot a quail, but the quail didn't die.
No, I don't want to hear this story.
Yeah, they took care of it right above my head. And I was like, what is going on? Because I'm from New York. So I've never seen anything like that. It's a whole different animal down there.
No, my granddad's pretty hardcore. Like, we would go fishing, and I mean, he's literally like right in front of me. Like, we catch a catfish, and he'll like just like cut its esophagus out while it's alive, and he's like, "All right, we're gonna fish with this now." I'm like, "Oh my god, I want to go home."
Caught the fish to get the other fish with.
Yeah, no, I like to think of myself as a country girl, but it has limits.
Yeah. So moving from Lake City up here to Nashville 2 years ago, did you feel some kind of like culture shock coming from small town Florida to one of the fastest growing cities in the country?
To a point, yes, but also I lived in LA for like 6 years.
Oh, I didn't know this. Mm-hmm. I did not know
yeah,
you.
so I was used to big city a little bit.
When did you go out to LA?
So I was a child actor.
Really?
For a little while. Yep.
Doing what?
From like 6 to 11. I was in some scary movies, so if there's any scary movie fans.
Now I get the whole spooky thing with your aunt jumping out and scaring people, and you want to do that. It makes sense now.
And it's actually so much fun actually to be on a set of one of those, because I mean, like, the blood is just maple syrup dyed red. I mean, it's a good time actually. But I quit when I was like 11. But so I mean, I was used to, like, you know, big cities for a little while doing that. But yeah.
What's the child actor life like?
I mean, honestly, I don't remember a ton of it because I was so young.
Yeah, those years that everything happens like so quickly too.
Oh yeah, but it is like the entire reason I ever picked up a guitar. So because I literally, like, I was 11 and there was this movie, and I had gotten down to like the final 2 girls they were going to try to pick for it, but they were like, "Oh, but you have to learn how to play guitar if you want to get the part." And so my agent hooked me up with this guy he was friends with that lived in like a hippie community at the top of Topanga Canyon. And so it was literally like people were like just like doing yoga outside, and he gave me guitar lessons like on a couch under a tree on the side of the mountain.
Wow.
And so like the first song I ever learned was Queens of the Stone Age.
Dude, that's awesome.
I know. I still love Queens of the Stone Age, actually.
Yeah, badass.
One of my favorite bands. And so that's the whole reason I ever got into music, was acting. So
wow. And then when did the writing start? Because you've got like the full package right now in terms of what guys and girls look for when they come to town. Like, you've got a team behind you on the record side. You've got a team behind you on the publishing side. You've got folks helping you with the management side. You've got folks with the booking side. Like, you've got all of that. So like the writing songs part is a huge part of it.
Oh yeah.
So when did you start doing that?
Honestly, after that first little bit of learning how to play guitar, I decided I didn't want to do acting anymore. I moved back home, and I spent a lot of time playing guitar because I was like, oh, this is what I really like doing. So I started playing in church a little bit, started like writing some Christian songs, and we sang them at church. And then really kind of as soon as I started figuring out how to structure chords and how to string thoughts together, I started writing. And I just spent a lot of years back home getting better at it before I ever took my first trip here. But
how old were you when you took your first trip here?
19, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I took my first trip here when I was 19 because I had some friends that were coming up here on and off. I had some friends that like were playing in Jacksonville and stuff that had started coming up here, and
Old Duval.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I started I figured out that was what I wanted to do, so I started coming up here just to meet people a little bit and write and maybe like network a little bit. Kind of never left, I guess.
Yeah. I'd say it worked out for you.
It did, yeah.
What's it like moving up here before at the age of 21? Because I know you're not like the world's biggest partier, which is a blessing because that saves your voice, that saves you from the headache, all the stuff. So I've been sober for 7 years now. I've been off the booze. I went
That's
too crazy.
Impressive, actually.
I went crazy young. Still California sober, but not a drinker.
Yeah.
But like so many guys and girls get up here and it's like off to the races with the drinking and the party that is Nashville. Like a Wednesday night here could be a Friday night anywhere else. You know,
yeah.
Like, so what's it like coming up here at a younger age and kind of doing the whole thing of networking and meeting people and kind of finding yourself, because you find yourself at 19, 20 years old. Like,
oh my God, I've found myself quite a bit in the last few years, and I guess finding your voice too. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it was it. The only thing that was like kind of, I guess, a little bit difficult about not being a big partier or drinker is that, yes, a lot of people do like the networking and stuff at places like Red Door and stuff. And after rights, people are like, let's go to Red Door and, you know, hang. And that's just not really my thing, I guess. But I mean, I think you can network in a lot of ways as long as you know, make an effort to do it. So I try to make sure I'm riding as much as possible and meet people that way. And then of course when I do play shows at Whiskey Jam and stuff like that, meeting people. So trying to play out quite a bit, and that's like, I guess, the best way for me to network. Cause
yeah, I would say so. As someone who does the host events here in town, like there is such a community with that. Do you remember like your first rounds or like that first Whiskey Jam?
Oh, I remember my first round ever. Yeah. My first round was, well, this doesn't really count as actually my round, but the first round I ever played in was, I had written this song with Liz Rose.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's actually out. It's Better Strangers. And she asked me that night, she was playing around at the listening room, and she was like, come play the song we wrote. And so I was like sitting in the back of my car, because we had just written it that day, like trying to make sure I wasn't going to screw it up. And that's the first round I ever played at.
That's a great song too.
Thank you.
Is that one of your first ones when you moved to town?
It was, yeah. It was probably one of the first songs I wrote moving to town. Actually, there's another song that I wrote with Nathan Chapman that I have recorded, but it's not out yet. That's like one of my first songs that I wrote when I moved to town that I still love. So hopefully
that's cool that like on this that you've recorded and that you're recording and going back to stuff that you created when you first got here. You know, because you're writing a lot. I'm guessing you're writing multiple times a week at this point, multiple times a day.
When I'm here in town, I usually write Monday through Friday, every day of the week. Yeah, so
that's a lot. But then you've put out like a good body of work. Like you had the EP that came out earlier this year, right? And then you've been in the studio working on all kinds of stuff with a guy named Dan Huff, who's like a big producer, and like you've worked with a few different producers in town. What's it been like getting in the room with guys that have these accolades and have it's like they're at such like a high level, and like you're at that level too, but you're so young, like figuring it out.
Yeah, I think it's especially with people like Dan Huff, and then I was also recording with Greg Kirsten in LA. I think it's really hard to find the balance with producers of, I'm the artist and I have a vision for my songs and I know what I want, and this person's won 700 Grammys and they probably know what they're talking about. Who do I listen to in this scenario if we disagree on how something should sound? But I think it's, I don't know, you have to find that happy medium, and I think like working with Dan was a lot of fun because he actually he puts a lot of importance on the artists he works with having a vision, you know, and knowing what they want their sound to be, because he's like, you know, it's really hard to produce someone who has no idea what they want, you know? And so that was like, he had, of course, like his own vision and his ideas for the songs, but he really cared, you know, what I wanted out of them too. So we had a lot of fun working together, and he's obviously ridiculously talented. So
yeah, he's worked with a lot of people over the years.
Yeah. He's like, I mean, I looked up to him for a long time, especially a lot of the stuff he did with Keith Urban, because I've loved Keith Urban since I was a kid.
Yeah, if you're a chick out there playing guitar, like that
gosh, yeah.
I'm excited. I don't think you didn't play electric at Whiskey Jam when I was there.
No, I didn't.
So I'm excited to see and get out to a show.
You should, yes. You should come to the New York show, maybe.
Ooh, when is that? Is that next week?
That's like next week.
Next week. So we're like have you done festivals yet?
I've done like festivals in my hometown, but not really.
Because I'm still in like festival season right now, where we go to a lot of like festivals around the country and stuff.
Cool.
And it's like, because I used to go out there as a TM, and it's like you get to the show, you hang out in catering, you sound check, you play the show, and then you get out of there. But like with what I'm doing now, it's like we're camping at these festivals. We're hosting like hot dog eating contests and like ridiculous like Ray's Rowdy branded shit at these festivals. So we've got I think 4 or 5 more left. And
Sounds
it's like
fun though.
The country music fan like culture, and you're gonna see this like going around the country now. I mean, you've been out to LA, you've been to New York City, like you've seen a good chunk of the country, but you haven't seen it through the eyes of an artist on tour.
No,
like,
I'm so excited.
Like,
I'm ready to go.
You're gonna see that there's country music fans everywhere, and the Larry Fleet fans are very passionate and. They know good music. They're going to latch right on to you. It's going to be awesome. But you're going to get to see how different crowds are. Like when you go out to Texas, it's a different thing than when you go to the Northeast or when you go to the Southeast or the Midwest. You go up to South Dakota and it's the only thing going on that month and the people go crazy. Like you're going to get to, and you're going to a lot of states on this tour. Like you're going all over the place, right?
Oh, yeah. It's literally like starting in New York and ending in Florida, actually. But yeah, I mean, we're like Alabama, New Jersey, Michigan, Missouri, like all over the place. So yeah, I'm super excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it absolutely is. So with directions, like, do you like driving and stuff, or are you usually, or do you think you're going to have Jake and or the TM or some of your folks?
I'm not old enough to drive a rental car, so.
Oh shit, that's right. Fly dates and rental cars and stuff.
Yeah.
And, or I guess what are you guys going to be traveling in? Do you know?
Yeah, we've got like Sprinter vans. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Sprinter van is nice.
I've never been in one. I've literally only just been in like a rental like mom van before.
Yeah.
So
now is it the Sprinter with like the bunks in it, or is it the rows?
No, it's just seats.
Just the rows? Okay.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that personally because
do you?
the back, I like because the Sprinter bunks are like coffins. They're like really, really tight.
No, I wouldn't like that at all.
I'm not a tall, huge guy, and I couldn't even fit in that dang thing. But the Sprinters with the rows, you're gonna learn very well how to sleep in a van. Like as you're going down the road and stuff, like. And it's nice that you don't have to worry about driving.
Yeah, because I can just chill, read a book. Everybody else has to drive, and I can say I'm not old enough. So for a little while, I can get away with it.
Is there a spot that you're most excited to go to?
Probably the New York one, actually, because I mean, like I've been there once or twice. I went there to see Springsteen on Broadway in 2018. Maybe 19, but I haven't like been there a ton, so I'm excited to see a different part of it.
Yeah, you're gonna get to experience. You a foodie? You a big food person? You a big food girl?
I'm a foodie, but I don't eat meat at all.
Okay.
And I'm also really picky. So
you're really picky. So what's on the Karley? The Karley, like what are your go-tos then? Like
Mexican or Italian, okay. I'm always fine with.
New York's gonna be good then for you with the Italian food. You're gonna enjoy that.
I found like on TikTok, there's like because I love to read, so I found there's like an Italian restaurant in a bookstore somewhere in New Jersey, and so like that's my first stop actually. So so like but that's like I always struggle to eat on the road because it's like there's most of the time it's like fast food places, and if you don't eat meat, what are you going? So I'm just like. French fries, please, for every meal. But I survive.
Yeah, you're gonna get to sample around some stuff. You'll figure out the ways. You'll figure out like what your snack is.
Yeah.
When you're going down the road. Mine was always peanut M&Ms or beef jerky. That's which obviously beef jerky doesn't work for you.
Right.
But like
my mom loves beef jerky.
Really?
Uh-huh. Yeah, both of my parents like they love a good steak, and so but I like to go to the steakhouse because I'll get like the potatoes and like the sides and stuff. But
so just make a whole meal out of the sides.
Yep, that's how I do it.
What do you have a rider yet of what you've got made up for when you go on tour? Do you know?
I have one, but I'm not like I didn't want to be like crazy and get people to.
So what do you got on there? Do you know?
It's literally just like water, but not Dasani. It can be like any water, but it can't be Dasani.
What do you not like about Dasani? It's good it's good Atlanta tap water.
When you open it and it goes. Psh, that's not water.
It's from a Coke factory.
Yeah, that's definitely you shouldn't be drinking that.
Yeah.
So just any water, but I don't want to die soon.
See, I don't like the. You ever have Zephyr Hills?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
See, Zephyr Hills is mine that I can't do.
Why?
I just could never do it. I'm looking at McElwain because he used to be on tour with me with Trey. Like the Zephyr Hills water was always like, it was just a different kind of thing.
I don't have a problem with anything else, but I prefer like smart water or something like that. But so
you're not like a bougie like Fiji water.
No,
girl.
I don't. I'm like, because I'm just like, I was trying to be as easy as possible.
Yes.
So I'm like literally any brand of water, just not this. And then I was like fruit and vegetables. And Lay's potato chips.
Lay's,
that's it.
just the classic Lay's?
Yeah, because it's like, it's good for your voice. Like before, I don't know why. And
Lay's, this is a news flash right here. Lay's potato chips, good for the voice. I've never heard that.
It's like, it's like something about it just like coats your voice. I don't know. Don't take my word for it, but I swear it helps. So
no, it's going to help me because my voice goes in and out all the time.
Yeah.
Like just from talking all the damn time.
You should do warm-ups too. Just because
I've never done the vocal warm-up thing.
I'll send you some stuff.
Because I'm trying to think. Like Trey never really did vocal warm-ups. The Muscadine guys, when I was out with them, used to do them all. Like Charlie from Muscadine used to do vocal warm-ups all the time.
I didn't do it for the longest time.
What got you to want to start doing it then?
Well, I started singing harder songs, and I noticed that like when I went to like go for a note cold without warming up, it was so much harder to hit than after I'd sang 3 or 4 songs maybe. And so I just, I kind of like after talking to some people figured out that what
does the vocal warm up sound like?
Oh my God, you're gonna do me like that?
I'm gonna do you like that, Karley.
Oh God, it's just a lot of like the.
See, I can't do that.
And then there's
maybe it's because I got a Zen in, but
you can do the just go
up and down.
And then there's another one. It's like nay 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 nay, and you go up and down the scale.
I don't know, Nate. So, I can't. My voice can't get that high. Like it'll just crack.
We could start super.
Just start super low and bring it up.
Yeah. But yeah, so I do a lot of those, especially before a show or before the studio or something, just so I can make sure I'm ready to go. And also, I don't want to be like, because I'll still be touring when I'm 87, and I
love that, Road Warrior. Let's go.
I want to still be like Axl Rose, like hanging out on the stage. Not that he's 87. Axl Rose, don't be mad at me if you hear this.
What are your favorite? So you're wearing a Metallica shirt. You went and saw Springsteen on Broadway. You were talking about Queens of the Stone Age. Like you're big into the rock stuff. What are some of your favorite bands?
Definitely Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
That's like, my dad is the reason that I got super into the rock music, because I mean my entire childhood growing up, he drove me to school whenever I was growing up. Usually he would take me to like kindergarten and stuff, and he would play Guns N' Roses and Alice in Chains, and like he didn't play the clean version, so like when it was like, I don't know, like Mr. Brownstone or something, when it was getting ready to cuss, he'd like turn the radio down real fast. And so I don't know, it's just a good memory for me, I guess, just like bonding with him. So like rock music to me is like just a happy thing. And so like Guns N' Roses, I love Pantera. I'm a huge Pantera
Let's go.
fan.
I would not expect this. This is awesome.
Dimebag is my favorite guitar player of all time.
That's the shit that I listen to. I love that. Yeah.
I knew we had a heart connection.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
But like, I think my Nana is like the one that got me into country music, because my parents didn't listen to country at all growing up.
I feel like there's so much like crossover, and there's a lot of crossover.
Yeah, like the Eagles, for example, like to me are like country music.
Yeah.
But like they're technically classic rock, but like
because they weren't what country was back in that day.
But it would be now, I would think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you have the hard rock elements within country music right now.
Oh yeah, like Hardy or something.
Hardy, like you go to a Bailey,
which is so cool.
You go to a Bailey Zimmerman show. It's very similar to a Nickelback show.
Yeah.
Like there are a lot of those, and Florida Georgia Line was just like an extension of Nickelback, and like all those rock elements. So like of all the times to be able to be a little experimental with your music and mix it up and have different sounds that aren't the most traditional, this is like the perfect time for someone like you to be coming out and doing this
which is like
thing.
a lot of the new music that I'm working on. I wouldn't say it's like, I mean, I'm not like out there like screaming. But,
you're doing a Disturbed like ooh wah ah, ah would be awesome. That would be crazy. Show opener.
But like a lot of the new music has more rock elements to it, actually, that we're recording right now. So I think like I'm drawing a little bit more on a lot of my inspirations than I think I ever did in the past. So I'm excited for people to hear it, and we'll be playing a lot of it on the road too. So
Yeah, well, I'm guessing you mixed some covers into the set, right?
we mixed a cover, only one.
Which one?
Now, but see, it's supposed to be a surprise, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Okay. We're doing The Chain by Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, nice.
But we're doing it more rock, so I'm playing electric on that one too, actually. And it's actually, I think people like it. It's a lot of fun to play that one, so I'm excited. The band likes it.
I didn't know if you were mixing in a GNR cover or something.
You know what? I thought about it, and I was like thinking that like, I don't know, something like Night Train would actually be like a lot of fun. But then I don't know. I thought like something that had like a little bit more country to it would be better,
this makes it a little bit easier, especially as an opener. Like that's
kind of what I was thinking too.
Yeah, and you're going to be doing like, because you mentioned Montclair, New Jersey. Like that's the Wilmot Theater. Like that, you're doing some theater gigs, which is nice. Instead of like because I've done a lot of the bar gigs. Mm-hmm. That's where most of my touring experience has been from. Is like Sigs Inside, bar and bumfuck somewhere in the Southeast or in Texas or wherever. But theater gigs are nice. Like the house teams there are always great. Like you're touring and you're doing it you're easing in very nicely.
Yeah, I've never played a theater before. I don't think. I think this will be my first one. Or my first ones. So,
I think you're doing and it fits with Larry and what he does. Like Larry Fleet in a theater that just sounds like the perfect kind of fit.
Yeah, and I've never actually seen him sing in person either, so I'm excited to watch him play too.
What is that? My phone just went off theater. We're gonna put that over there. Sorry, technical difficulties. What else? So as far as the new music coming out, do we got any new music coming out before the end of the year?
Yes, definitely before the end of the year. Sooner than later, actually. Sony's been yelling at me about deadlines because Nathan and I, so we're co-producing now. Nathan Chapman and I are co-producing everything that I'm working on, and so we've just been. He told me yesterday, do you want to make deadlines or do you want to make records? Oh. And I was like, true. So we're working on it. We've been having a really good time just being super free and super creative. That's like, so we are actually also like playing all the instruments, just the two of us. We didn't really hire any studio musicians this time around.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because we, I don't know, my favorite time being creative has always been just me and Nathan writing a song together, just the two of us, because we would always build the track, just the two of us. And so I had a bunch of different experiences. Nathan and I had a studio band. I did it with Greg, and then Dan and I had a studio band. And so when it came time to do this next round, I was like, why don't we just do it just the two of us, like we've been doing it? And it's been so freeing to just be like, what if we try this and it sucks, and then this is awesome, and then like just hang out and have a good time. It's been so much fun.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed it a lot.
That's a good creative way to do it.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is actually kind of funny, and I've never told Nathan this, so if he listens to this podcast, I don't know if he knows this or not.
Shout out Nathan.
Yeah. When I was 14, I wrote a song, and of course I loved Taylor Swift when I was 14, because every girl did. So I took a video of it, made my mom video me playing this song that I wrote, and we emailed it to Nathan Chapman. I found his email online.
Oh, wow.
And he responded back, and he was like, sounds good, keep working. And so when they put him on my calendar for the first time, I called my mom, and I was like, oh my God, he's going to remember this. He's going to judge me. But so I don't know if he knows, but that's what happened.
That's some awesome full circle stuff that you get in music, and you get by living here, by making that move to Nashville and doing it. Is it crazy to be doing what you're doing right now at such a young age?
Yeah, absolutely. I think like writing with people that I actually literally looked up to my entire life is never not going to be insane to me. So I feel super lucky to be doing it at all. And especially like in the times where it's like I get frustrated with something or irritated with TikTok or something, it's like when you reset your mind and you're like, you're doing this at all, like it's, you know, there's never a time when I'm not grateful, for sure.
Now, if you weren't doing music, what would you be doing, you think, besides chasing Bigfoot in the Florida woods? And
than trespassing. Honestly, this is a random one, but I'd probably be an archaeologist.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, see, I grew up loving dinosaurs and shit.
I love dinosaurs. I painted a dinosaur on one of my purses.
Really?
Yeah. That's like, I'm a painter too. So like I've painted all my cover arts in the past,
Oh, really?
all the
I did not
background and
know
everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's just creativity just all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything that I can do to like have my hand in something or be as creative as possible.
Why archaeology? Is it the arrowhead thing growing up?
Maybe,
or what?
yeah. I mean, I've just always loved history, but like my mom also always liked like ancient Egypt and stuff. So when I was growing up, she would like read me stuff about that. So I think it just was like something I always thought was cool. But there's this guy, his name's Josh Gates, and he's got like a TV show on Travel Channel, I think, and I love that show. So I always thought that if I ever went to college for anything, it'd probably be that. But I didn't.
Do you like ghosts and all that spooky kind of shit too?
Well, I don't.
Or do you believe in ghosts?
God.
I was gonna say,
you know what
a,
happened the other night?
Oh, did you have an experience?
I did.
Where at?
In my apartment.
Oh no.
And I barely slept that night. I don't know. This might not actually be that crazy, but it scared me, and it has to do again with Guns N' Roses. I have not listened to my Alexa in I don't know how long. And I was laying in my bed at night. It was like 11 o'clock at night. It was silent. There was no sound whatsoever. I'm just like looking through Instagram or something. And all of a sudden, she just screams. She was like, starting playback. And she started blaring Welcome to the Jungle on like 100% volume. So it's like, da-na-na-na-na-na. He's like, do you know where you are?
Yeah.
And so it terrified me. And so I'm pretty sure there's my apartment's haunted. Yeah.
See, I used to live in a haunted house.
Actually?
Like, dead ass, yeah.
Where?
It was out in Hermitage. It was sketchy. McElwain's been to that one.
Wait,
Libby Lane, McElwain.
Why do you think it was haunted?
So my roommate works does like armed security and stuff. He like used to works within the government and all that.
Okay.
And there'd be nights where he would text me and be like, "Did you hear that?" Like from his room, he would be like, "Did you hear that?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." And he'll be like, "All right, stay in your room. I'm clearing the house."
Oh my
like
God.
thinking that someone was in there, and like just appliances going off at random times, like doors being open.
It'll spook you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really will.
So no, I don't like ghosts, but I do like ghost stories.
But you
I like hearing about other people's ghosts, but I don't want it.
So you believe in them though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I do.
I do too. And isn't it crazy? Like ghosts, and then like aliens were like taboo for a long time.
I believe in aliens
too.
too.
No, because they are real. It's been proven that aliens are real now. Did you see that thing in Mexico? Or do you think that's fake? What does the archaeologist Karley think?
Well, in my professional opinion,
Yes.
I kind of thought those looked like clay stuff someone just like made out of. I mean, I would be shocked if that was an actual body of something. Did you see the picture of it?
Yeah.
And you thought it was real?
I thought they looked like little Indian.
You are gullible.
I've seen all kinds of like lights and things like that. You see some stuff driving through the middle of nowhere, Kansas at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, well,
you know?
I'm going to Kansas, so.
You are going to Kansas, huh?
Yeah. Or Kansas City. That's Missouri. Never mind.
Well, half of it's Missouri,
Kansas
half
in
of
the
it's
name,
Kansas,
so whatever, same thing.
Yeah. How far west are you going on this tour? Are you going out to like Cali?
I told you not to ask me about directions.
Okay. By west, I mean California.
No, we're
Nevada.
we're not going to California. Let's see. I
Are
don't
you
know.
on like master
Here,
tour?
you tell me how far west I'm going.
Oh, Minnesota. Oh, you're doing Minneapolis. Oh, Rosemont. You're doing Joe's Live. Sick. It's
Yeah,
funny.
and I've never been to Chicago either. Ever.
Chicago is awesome.
So my agent said there's like a specific pizza place, and he said that he would make sure that it's his favorite pizza place. So he said he was going to have the pizza backstage, and I love good pizza.
Are you doing Huntsville?
Yeah.
Huntsville's
and
great.
I'm excited to go to Alabama too because I've been through there, but my dad played football for Troy.
Oh, really?
Troy State in Alabama when he was in college, and so I feel like
you're doing a lot of like I've been through a lot of these cities. You know, Mobile. It's probably Soul Kitchen.
It is.
Soul Kitchen's a vibe.
Is it?
It is. It's a cool room. Mobile's got a lot of history. So Mobile is where Mardi Gras actually originated. Mobile was doing Mardi Gras before New Orleans was. So it's got like that Cajun, kind of like spooky Cajun culture.
I love New Orleans.
Yes, Mobile is like
awesome.
It's like a mini New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm excited about this is like silly, but anyways, in Orlando, it's at the House of Blues.
Oh, nice. Those are always great.
Yeah, when I was younger, I had a friend or some friends that got to go backstage, but they wouldn't take us with them. And so they were just like, sorry, we're going backstage. Like, I'll see you later. So now I get to go backstage. So I'm excited.
You get to have your own dang green room, girl.
That's right.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah. So I'm excited to go. A lot of my family will be there. And a lot of my family's never even seen me play with a band. So
Really?
yeah. Yeah. There's a song that'll be out at some point. It's about my grandmother. Is a mess. So I wrote this song about her, and she loves it. I played it for her, and she loves it. So I'll be playing it, and she'll be there, and it'll be fun to play it live for the first time for her. So yeah, I'm excited.
That'll be really cool. Now, when you're not doing music stuff, what are you usually doing? Besides, you said you like to read.
Oh yeah, lots of reading. Cooking. I like to cook a lot.
Yeah, so we did a cooking bit yesterday. McElwain doesn't even know, and he usually knows all the stuff that goes on with me. So we do a lot. Are
you a cook?
Oh, I was yesterday. We do a lot of bits with Raised Rowdy. Like we do a lot of like funny.
Next time you do a cooking bit,
it's like
hit me up.
Well, we're thinking about starting one. Yesterday kind of inspired it. Our buddy Trey Bonner puts up like just jokes on his Instagram saying "boys who cook," and he's like boiling pasta, but he has like goggles on, like he's very extra and funny.
Yeah.
So yesterday we did a bit for to promote one of the festivals we're going to that Lainey Wilson's going to be at.
Oh, sweet.
And we called it cooking with grease. And but we cooked with a lot of grease. And
oh God, that sounds unsafe.
It was like bacon and then putting Crisco inside the pan that had the bacon. Like just
oh my God,
just a ridiculous amount of stuff. And I was wearing a chef's hat with a Nickelback patch on it, and an apron that had Creed on it, and all kinds of just funny shit. And we're like deep frying these potatoes, and I got stuff on the grill. I went to light the grill, and the fire shot out at me, and I almost caught on fire.
Oh my God, I've caught the stove on fire.
Really?
Because what was I doing? I was making potato chips because I grew potatoes. I garden too. That's my other thing. I grew a bunch of potatoes and then I sliced them really thin. I made some homemade potato chips, and I guess there was too much grease and it like went. Or olive oil, and then it like went over, and it was like on fire, and I didn't know what to do. So I'm probably gonna get this wrong, so people should Google it before one of the powders. It's like baking soda or baking powder or something. You pour it on the fire and it stops it. So,
really?
Yeah.
Good to know. Yeah, we didn't. The grill thing was like very quick, and it was like because
you still have your eyebrows.
Yeah, Nikki T and one of our content guys, Ike, were inside like with the bacon, and all of a sudden I was mic'd up, so it's like caught on the microphone. Me screaming, "Oh shit!" and like my hand because I was just covered in grease. So I tried cooking.
God.
I tried cooking grease. Luckily, my family's really good at cooking. Like my mom, we're not Italian, but like we have been from New York, like all those Italian recipes.
You're like honorary Italian.
Honorary Italian, like going up with like bagels and all the Jewish deli sandwiches and all that. Like so my family has a lot of that, and then my girlfriend loves to cook, and I spend a lot of time over there with her and her daughter. So I'm learning slowly, but the cooking with grease thing, I don't wish. We called the burger, we called it a trash burger.
Okay.
Because it was just a
bunch of different stuff.
It's just a disaster. Yeah, we do that, and then our other go-to is like at the end of a festival when we're camping. Yeah. We call it whatever we got left, or like whatever we have left, and it's whatever we have left. We just cook it all up and stuff. So you like cooking?
That sounds kind of awful.
Yeah, it's a time. It's festival season's just a whole thing. But for what do you grow in your garden? So potatoes?
So everything. I grow potatoes, a lot of tomatoes, peppers, onions.
You have a garden outside?
So this is like...
Or is it one of them hydroponic little garden things? My roommate has that.
This is actually, back home in Florida. So I go home, it's technically mine and my mom's garden. So she does a lot of the stuff. But like when I'm back home, I help take care of it and all that stuff. So it's like my dad had her built this like big fancy garden. And so there's a bunch of space in there to grow all kinds of stuff. Okra, everything.
Oh, okra. That's the way to Matt McElwain's heart right there. He loves fried okra.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I had some fried okra. I had a meat and 3 the other day. You ever eaten one of those?
No, because it would just be the 3, meat.
Well, then it would be a no meat and 6. Well, my thing it turned into a meat and 6 because I just tried to sample everything. It was really good. It was a place called Pawpaw's.
Oh.
Pawpaw's in Birmingham, Alabama.
It sounds like it would be good just by the name.
And I was the youngest person in there by probably about 45 years. It was awesome.
I can believe that too.
Old folks. It was great. I was holding the door for all the old ladies. It was awesome.
Do you play music? Do
No.
you? No, you haven't?
No, not
He
like a
laughs.
McElwain's
Okay.
face. Yeah.
So apparently he's really not good at it.
No, I'm not. I've tried to learn.
I think we should try. I think you should sing us something since you made us sing.
Oh no, I don't know if you want that. I can't see. I've always been so. I wanted to be in sports media. That was what I got.
Cool.
I was like that kid in middle school, like having a sports blog, writing about the Yankees and college football. And
You
all
were
that.
like really into it.
I was really when I'm into something, I go all the fuck in.
Yeah.
And then I got into the country stuff. My first concert was Tim McGraw, 2003. I was 8 years old. It was awesome. Hoss Cat, Fu Manchu, pre-sobriety Tim McGraw. It was when Tim McGraw was partying like Morgan Wallen, like that era, you know.
Tim McGraw's always been cool though.
Oh, he's always been cool.
And always good music.
There's different eras of McGraw, like Hoss Cat. I'm talking like real good man and like pre Live Like You Were Dying, like
okay, right.
Rowdy McGraw.
Oh yeah.
But then when I went off to college, I was working at my college radio station, and I helped out with a country show there, and that's kind of what
Where
got
college?
me.
What college? You
Rider University. It's up in New Jersey. Small school.
Rowdy?
Ryder.
I
It'd be
was like,
cool.
wait.
If it was Rowdy University, that would have been sick. But no, Ryder University. It's in like central New Jersey.
Okay.
And there was a country show there, and I kind of helped grow it. And we were able to find guys and girls in Nashville like before they got big. Like I had Luke Combs call in.
No.
2015, 2016.
Wow, that's so cool.
We interviewed Wallen when he had short hair and was wearing hats like this, like what he looks like now, but like younger.
That's crazy.
We had like Brett Young, Walker Hayes,
That's
John
so
Party,
cool.
all these people. So I got involved in that and then made the move down here after working in radio back home.
Wow.
And I was a bouncer.
Awesome.
I was a bouncer on Broadway. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I did not know that.
I was a door guy.
I have not spent much time on Broadway. This is like I feel like I've not had the Nashville experience at all. I've never done the night out on Broadway
You're
thing.
doing it your way. You're doing what makes you comfortable.
But I feel like at some point I'm gonna have to do it, or it's a lie that I've lived in Nashville.
Oh, well, where would you want to go?
Everywhere. I need to just do it all in one night.
Do it all. Do you have like do you have any other like folks that you're close with that are like in the music industry, like other young artists that you would be like, hey, let's go out? Like who would your team be going out?
Actually, a lot of my friends are songwriters, really, more than I don't know a ton of the artists. I feel like because when I moved here, it was like the pandemic hit shortly after.
You moved here in COVID.
Yeah, so it was kind of like I'm just now starting to get to meet some of the artists that are closer to my age. But all of my friends are like older and like married, so I feel like they wouldn't go with me. Maybe Alex Klein. Do you know her?
I don't.
She's amazing. She's a really talented writer and producer. She's great. She produced Somebody Like That for Tenille Arts. But
shit.
Yeah, she's super talented. So I'd probably ask her. She's always a good time. She always makes me laugh.
I used to go out on Broadway all the time because I worked down there. I didn't drink. I got sober before I moved down here. Thank God, or I would have been.
So you've been here 7 years.
I've been here to be 5 years in October.
Okay.
So
cool.
which is wild to think about, but all I knew was Broadway because I worked at Whiskey Row. I was a door guy at Dirk Bentley's bar, new home of Whiskey Jam, and I was there. Like Aldean's hadn't even opened yet. Like Luke's hadn't even opened yet.
Right.
Like but you would go to honky tonks. Like you'd get done with a shift and then go out and then be out till 3 a.m. and then get up and do it all over again.
I cannot remember the last time I saw 3 a.m, but
well, you're about to be on tour.
I know, and I'm excited. I'm ready to see 3 a.m. that way for sure.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite spots to go and eat here in town? We got a lot of Mexican food here.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I shouldn't say it on here because people are going to start going to it, and then they're going to find out about it.
People know the.
No, this is a secret spot. It really is, but I'm going to say it anyways. So I think it's on Gallatin. It's called Maíz de la Vida, and it used to be a truck, and now they have this little shop, and it only seats like 10 people, and it's the best Mexican food I've ever had in my entire life, regardless of where I've been. So that place is amazing. And then there's another truck. Apparently I'm a food truck person, and it's called Fab Pizza. And it's really, really
Fab Pizza,
F-A-B.
a pizza food truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See,
and it's so good.
I'm very big on my pizza.
Yeah, you should know. It's the best pizza I've had in Nashville for sure.
Okay, that says a lot.
Maybe top 3 ever.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go and check that out.
Yes,
for sure. Because I've gotten to. Have you gotten to experience outside of Nashville? Like, have you been out in the country out here?
Yeah, like Leaper's Fork. Oh my God! And I met Vince Neil there, like yesterday.
You met Vince Neil yesterday?
Yeah, in Leaper's Fork.
What was he doing in Leapers 4?
I think he lives there.
Vince Neil from Motley.
From Motley Crue. Yeah, I have a picture I took. So like I was just eating breakfast before band rehearsal, and I walked past this guy, and I was like, that really looks like Vince Neil. And I just walked inside, and then I was looking out the window, and I was like, that really is Vince Neil. So I went back outside. You're not supposed to interrupt people, but I was like, but I'm gonna do it anyways because my dad's not gonna believe this. And I was like, are you who I think you are? And he was like, who do you think I am? And I was like, are you Vince Neil? And he was like, yeah. So we took a picture together, and it was cool.
Nice guy.
Yeah, super nice. But it was just weird and random.
See, I had a weird experience like that. I didn't pop over and bother him, but we had it confirmed a few months ago. No. Like, well, you didn't bother Vince Neil. He was very nice, and it was cool. My girlfriend lives over here in the Gulch, and so we walked along the Gulch, which I never thought I'd be doing. The Gulch, I'm not the most Gulch kind of guy.
Yeah.
But we were walking past.
Not super Gulchy.
Not super Gulchy. I don't look good in a Bachelorette hat. But we were walking past Marsh House, and she was like, "Oh shit, that looks like Tom Hanks."
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "Oh shit, that is Tom Hanks." And then she had popped in there for dinner like a week later, and they were like, "Yeah, Tom Hanks comes out here and stays here like a few times a year."
That's wild.
Fucking
that's
Tom
cool.
Hanks just hanging out.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then I've seen people on Broadway, like all kinds of people doing these. You see people the wilder side of people working on Broadway.
I saw Jason Aldean at the zoo not long ago, but
really?
I didn't bother him.
I haven't done the Nashville Zoo yet. I want to go and do it.
We went, me and my parents went a couple years ago, but yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's a zoo. It's what, when you're not going to Broadway, that's what you do for fun.
Yeah. So what are some goals for you before the end of the year? So we're pretty much there. We're in September. It's been a great year for you. You've put out a lot of music. You've got a great touring opportunity. You've got a phenomenal team with you. Like it's happening for you. The year 2023 is like kickstarting everything for you.
I mean, I think my main goal for the end of this year, since like most of the rest of it I'll be on the road, is just to make a lot of new fans on the road. I mean, I've been working really hard to make a really great show, and I think that's kind of my goal for this year, is to meet a lot of new people and do a really great job on the road, so that when I'm going through doing my own shows, that they come to mine. And I think like releasing a few new songs would be awesome, and then next year I think just hopefully touring a lot more, because that's what I think that's the most fun, is being in front of people. So
hell yeah. That's awesome, dude. I'm super excited for you.
Yeah,
it's so
me too.
cool to be doing this. One, to have you on. A big fan of what you do.
Thanks for having me.
Very excited for what's to come with the new music. Love the stuff that you've got out now. But it's cool. Like last time that we really kicked it was at Whiskey Jam, and you would tell me about this tour, and the tour starts next week.
Yeah, perfect timing.
And for it to start in my homeland neck of the woods, like. I'm glad you're not having to drive.
Yes, me
you're
too.
Not, because up there it's a different animal with driving.
Oh, I can imagine.
You're going to be getting right off the Garden State Parkway. You're going to be on the LIE, Long Island Expressway.
I just had someone tell me earlier that not to buy anything on the Garden State on the Parkway. They were like, make sure you buy everything ahead of time, because it's like twice as expensive on the Parkway. So yeah,
the Parkway So we don't have Loves up north.
Right.
All of our states, with the way the taxes and stuff work, there's the travel stops are like state mandated. So they're clean and stuff, but like the Garden State Parkway is interesting. Like there's no tractor trailers allowed on there. Like a lot of the roads up north, trucks aren't allowed on. So and some of the roads are so narrow, like the Merritt Parkway in Connecticut. Yeah. So narrow, it's like IndyCar racing. Like there's no shoulder, and it's 2 lanes, and it's just people doing 80, 90. It's crazy. But yeah, again, I grew up around it, so I used to go up and down the GSP all the time. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's good advice. It's not Montclair's a fun little town, though. It's a cool college town. The folks up there too really appreciate. The country music fans that are up there really appreciate it, because we don't get it like y'all do down here. Yeah, I bet you
don't get it as much as in the South.
No, we don't. There's not a show every weekend. So when there is a show, folks will drive from 2, 3, 4 hours away to be at that show. I can't wait.
I'm excited to meet people. I'm going to be like going out, hanging out at the merch table every night.
We got Karley Scott Collins merch.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I got a t-shirt, getting ready to have a hat. Yeah.
Nice.
So, and I like designed it all, painted it myself too. So yeah. Yep. I'm excited.
It's awesome you create all the stuff yourself.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Where can people go to find you? Oh, last question.
Okay.
TikTok.
Yeah.
TikTok shit. You enjoy like what's, because you're of the generation that's like, when you think of like the TikTok generation, it's like that 25 and younger. Like TikTok for you is like what, I mean, I guess Facebook and Instagram. I'm 28, so I'm not too much older than you, but like TikTok came about very much so during the pandemic and everything. And that was like before you even moved up here to Nashville. But now it's such a huge part of music and finding new fans and getting your shit out there. And if something pops, people tend to record it. Like what's it been like coming up in that world?
I think there's a lot of positives and there's a lot of negatives. I think everybody probably feels that way. I think like social media in general, TikTok and Instagram and all of it, it's really cool to be able to literally like have a DM conversation with a fan that lives in, I don't know, Norway or something. You know, I think that part makes it really cool and people can discover your music all over the world in a way that they really couldn't before. But I think that sometimes it can put people in a box a little bit. It's not so much about all the time now, like, what's the greatest song? It's about the song that popped off on TikTok. And I think that's kind of sad sometimes because there's probably a lot of really great songs that just get pushed to the side because, you know, they didn't get popped off on TikTok, but they might have done really well on the radio or like if people had given it more of a chance. So I think that part kind of sucks, but I think it's a big learning curve. I think that like originally I was a little bit like hesitant to do it because I just felt like, I don't know, I didn't feel like I was like super fit into the TikTok thing, but I think I've learned a lot now and I've grown to enjoy it a little bit more than I used to.
I think I
appreciate it.
Yeah, it's figuring out your way to do it.
Yeah, figuring out.
What does your TikTok feed look like?
Yeah, exactly, like because I thought that I was going to have to dance, you know?
Oh, you're not a dancer?
Absolutely not.
I'm not either.
No, I don't dance at all. So I was like, I mean, how can I dance to one of my songs, you know? I'm like, what do y'all want me to do? But yeah, so I figured out how to, I guess, make it my own, I think. And
hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit more bearable.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, where can people go to find you on all the socials?
It's at Karley Scott Collins on everything. So, but it's Karley with a K because my mom wanted to make it difficult. Karley. Yep.
Yes. Yeah, you are Karley with a K, which is awesome.
Yep.
So.
Like a Kardashian.
There you go. Awesome. Well, y'all be sure to check out our girl, Karley Scott Collins. Look up the Larry Fleet Tour. What's the exact name of the tour again? I forgot.
Oh my God!
I'm putting it on you. I'm sorry. They sent me all these.
Oh, it's literally just the Fall Tour.
The Fall Tour.
So there wasn't a tour name. See,
yes,
well, there
the
is,
Fall
but.
Tour. The Larry Fleet's Fall Tour. Karley Scott Collins going to be on all those dates, kicking it off in New York, finishing it up in the homeland of Florida. Y'all be sure to go and get your tickets and be on the lookout. New music coming soon-ish.
Very soon.
Very soon. New music coming very soon. Yep. So y'all be sure to follow our girl, Karley Scott Collins. Stream her music. Don't just stream it. Buy it as well if you're on the iTunes train, the Google Play train, all that, and give her a follow on all the socials. Big believer in this girl right here. Appreciate all y'all watching this episode of Outside the Round. Shout out to our friends, Big Friendly Productions, Saxman Studios, Whaletail Media. If you guys want to know more about us, look up raisedrowdy.com. Tell your mama and them, give us a follow, a like, and leave a review on the podcast platforms. For our girl Karley, for old sweet boy behind the camera, I'm Matt Burrell. This has been Outside the Round.
Never been the kind for staying in one place for too long. I ain't never been the best at saying I love you to a girl I love. Only got a couple tricks on my sleeve. They usually just make 'em